If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Are you broadcasting? There you go. Oh, I'm on. I'm back for a new season. And this time I came with a game that I got at Origins, and we're going to unbox it, and it's going to be awesome. Probably. Where's my interruption? I feel like Ryan's interrupting me now. Is he not?
Oh. How we doing?
Fine. We were going to play Ark Nova tonight, right?
Are we?
I spent a lot of money at Origin.
I mean,
because I thought we were going to open and talk about the new hot game.
I mean, I do have a convention kicking off, kind of tomorrow. So yes, but
yes?
Also no.
Okay.
Because we're kind of here for Schweddy balls, aren't we?
Dude, it is so hot in the American Midwest right now. I have Schweddy balls like constantly.
I could use a little more volume, could I? Well, the trouble I've got right now is for no explicable reason my mic is coming straight into my headphones, which doesn't usually happen, but there we go. So, anyway, Al,
Yeah.
how you been?
I've been pretty good. I could have been maybe 2 games better last week, but overall pretty good. Went to Origins, which hopefully we will maybe get to talk about a little. Some of the stuff I saw, some of the people I got to meet.
Yeah,
but
we usually do an Origins review when we come back. I don't know if that volume is better for people, but I tried.
All right.
Yeah. So a new season. We can go over the drafts briefly as well. See what kind of teams we've got going on.
Sure.
I
mean, new season. Maybe we should also mention we have a new name for the show.
We do. In theme with Alex is still way louder, is he? Well,
to be fair, I am just naturally way louder than you anyway.
It's true.
Well, probably comes from me being American.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. How quiet I am. Let me. Do you know what? I'm not sure. Let me check my settings. I just know that Tim's going to absolutely abuse my. See, that's coming through there. That should be fine. That should be there. I think. I don't know. I don't know why this is happening. All I can say is that it shouldn't be, but whatever.
Pretend you're Vorizori. It is Thursday after all.
Have I tried speaking into a megaphone? You don't. No one wants that. Honestly, really, no one wants it. Yeah. So let me just get up these teams here, and we'll go through them because there were some interesting draft strategies. Least of all, not from my captain.
How the hell did both of us go in the first round?
I
honestly feel like this is a concerted effort to make sure neither of us wins any sort of money ball in this season.
I don't think there's any danger of that, right? There's no way. There's just no way.
Probably true.
It's probably true. Let's get this browser up here. And if anyone's wondering why on earth I am so abysmally underprepared, it's because I've been trying to do lots of things all day long and failing.
It's almost as if you have something really, really important coming up this weekend.
Right. My favorite one today was we got our insurance sorted out because for an event you have to have liability insurance, right? And they got the name of our society slightly wrong. It is we are the Comox Valley Geek Society, and the insurance came out as Comox Valley Greek Society, which isn't too much of a problem until you realise that there is actually also a Comox Valley Greek Society. So if we tried to give the venue that, they would have tossed that out.
All right. Oh, we should say hello to VQ and her raid. Or rating.
VQ is rating. Oh, they're gonna get such a disappointment.
I know.
Compared to the quality they're used to with VQ.
I know. I was before our show started, and Ryan was furiously trying to make everything right. I was just watching VQ and just oogling over her really, really nice gaming chair.
Right. Yeah. Why is this not working? Do you know what? We're just going to talk through the teams because this really isn't working for me.
All right.
If we look at them, we had more Cowballs captained by Lisa Poopdeck McConnell. She went first. She picked up Hypaspist, Tatiana, Sturrock, Fire Driller, Ancolo, and CJK Flyer.
I have to add, I mean, I think there was some discussion this week in the thread as to why Tatiana was not the first round pick in the review.
That was Corey Barron. You know what? He's not wrong, is he? Yeah, certainly in the first round, I don't think it's spoiling anything to say that Tatiana's performance was exceedingly higher than mine. Yeah, I don't know. Like, some people just don't listen to a word I say, Al, and there's nothing I can really do to help that. Like, it's literally, I said don't do it, and then people do it. So, I don't know. Still, it'll give people lots of material and mileage when they're giving me a hell of a lot of crap throughout this season for, oh my god, why did he go not only in the first round, but first of that round? Yeah, it's a good talking point, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes were made. They certainly were, Cyberduck. They certainly were. However, after Poop Deck, we had Osmosis Brent going second. A catch at the Roxbury. He picked up Juan Carlos, a pretty good solid first round pick, and filled out with Cranky Day, Nautical Stew, rookie there, Sir Thestral, Serafina, and Sarah T. Interesting team there. Pretty fun one.
Yeah,
I reckon. You got the commissioner on side as well, so that's always good.
Yeah, because you'll win any sort of tiebreaker that you need.
You just absolutely do. I tell you what I can do while this is going on. Instead of I can just bring us past the T and into actually so that we can see these teams here. There we go.
Okay.
People can see that on the screen, and at least it's something they can look at. And so then, I
have to say, I just briefly looked at the script, the very brief script that we have, and I'm realizing all the court assignments are for teams from last season, and it's taken me this long to realize that.
Oh yeah, no, this is a really top-notch job in terms of not doing the assignment. Yeah. I may have misunderstood the assignment. So after Brent, we've got the artist formerly known as Ass Clown with Dodge at Trebek. Picking up Chasmo, Cisco, Grandma, Acox89, Drew the Rat, and Bahamut. So that looks like another fun team as well. Yeah. Any standouts there, Al?
I think Drew the Rat is going to surprise some people. I remember he was a fill-in last season for just one round and did really, really well.
I think he destroyed the donuts, didn't he, if I remember right?
Yeah. And so I think, people maybe not remembering him because he's been away from Dodgeball for a bit, let him drop so low, but I think he's going to surprise some people.
Yeah, I think he's a great pick.
I would keep an eye on those, especially those three last round picks, Acox, Drew the Rat, and Bahamut. I think both were really great value. All three were really great value picks there.
Yeah, definitely, and enabled by some rather poor first round picks, perhaps. So knocking people down where they shouldn't have been. Dodgy Pumpkins with Jester 204. I actually I'd never seen this sketch until this last week.
Apparently, there is some discussion as to whether or not it is funny, and I feel like this will be a question that will plague us all season.
I thought it was really funny because it looks like it's going to be super lame, and then the payoff at the end is so good. With any questions, just love that. But solid picks, I thought. Too. I was a little bit surprised by Jason round 3, but Corey and Yeti, good choices, and then going for the 1-2 wife husband picks of Bad Wolf and Cyberduck, and rounding out with Carrie. So that could be quite a team to watch, I think, actually, because I think Cyberduck's a pretty good pick in round 5. Like Bad Wolf, like once she had her rookie season, and she had a couple really good games there.
She did.
I think she's actually quietly very good.
Yes.
So they'll be interesting, and then Darth Kronos, who possibly one of my favorite pictures throughout the draft show. I don't know if people clocked that I was trying to ribbingly mock the pictures through that, but his was really fun. I don't know if it was a surprise to pick up JL in the first round, but he immediately became a legend. So
I was going to say, I will say, when we had to go up after I had lost and pose for pictures, first me and him together and then him by himself, as we were walking up, I whispered to him, I was like, this is why you were drafted ahead of me.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, and Jay's a really nice guy, but I think if anyone was any doubt that he wasn't worth that round 1 slot, then that quickly dispelled any of that. And then Darklighter, Vori, Royal Lance, a cracking pickup in round 4 there, and John is always good value, and D-Zilla in 6. And then we've got the motivational catchers, MarkBot 3000, who in Captain's Chat today, there was a little bit of smack talk going on when Seaburst mentioned that he got me out in the round 2 match. Spoilers. And I maybe told him that was one of the least surprising things that had happened to him today. Possibly surpassed by breathing and getting up in the morning as only slightly more surprising. MarkBot claimed that if he had the opportunity to shit talk anyone this season, he would be all down on that, like white on rice. So MarkBot clearly up for some shenanigans, captains, if you're in the mood. And he's your captain, Al. So he is my captain. You were his first pick.
Yeah, I was his first pick, and immediately mocked him for that. And he didn't understand why. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a long season.
This is going to be hard work. But, he picked up Ian and Mom and Jen after that. And Doug in 5, I think, is always a good pick.
Yeah, and Danielle, a really good group of people. We're having a lot of fun. Doug has been great about just posting all sorts of ridiculousness in our team chat. So it is always fun to check in and see what's going on there.
Well, he does like his memes and his cat gifs and pictures. Mm-hmm. I think from seeing some of his posts sometimes. So that'll be a scream. He's also very dry, which is great. And then we've got Cash in a Box next with Dusto, and then he picks up Daryl first, followed up by Wheels and Rip and Yarbs and Binks and Deanna B. And frankly, apart from Binks, I mean, that team's solid. I love you, Jonathan. Don't worry. I just love giving Binks a hard time.
I got to see Jonathan at Origins. Honestly, I didn't get to spend as much time with him as I wanted. It was mostly during tournaments, so I only got to see him in passing. I really wanted to apologize to him for all the ribbing we give him, but I didn't get a chance.
He knows we love him, I'm sure.
Yes. Jonathan is one of my favorite people in the Star Wars community.
He's a super good.
He's
dude.
a great guy.
Yeah.
I have to say on this team, Yarboa is to have slipped down that far.
Such a
I
good
know she had a
form.
really bad season last season, so definitely like comeback player of the year sort of material, and definitely Moneyball candidate way down there.
Well, Yarboa is the current reigning Covacon champion. She's won the last 2 tournaments we've had, and she's going to be up defending her title on Saturday. Ooh. So, if anyone wants to try and pull that from under her, then I think there's a few contenders, but we'll see how it goes. But she's going for the 3-peat, so we'll see if Super Grandma can stop her or anyone else. I tried to convince Wet Yeti to come over from the mainland, but I think he might be a bit busy. Then we had Guianos, the Catman, Skibidibby, picking up Ninja Nin to begin with, and then Penguin Army, and then Zim, and then Agency 13, and then Lady Stacy and Badger. Like, that's another good team, Al.
Yeah.
It begins strong, carries on pretty strong, dips a bit at 4, and then, it's all gravy until the end.
Yeah. It's, I mean, if Baggio is the last player picked on your team, then you have a
good team.
Super strong team.
Yeah.
Baggio is such a severely underestimated, undervalued player. And I think part of it is time zone issues, and that's why people sort of underestimate him. But that is a great pick to have in the last round. And each pick in front of it, good players.
Oh yeah, I mean, I give Tim a hard time, but he's a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just in the unfortunate position of where he was last year, so last season, so I can't really give him too much crap. Although I will look forward if I am a round 4 pick next season. I'm just saying I would be delighted with that.
Yeah.
And then we've got Captain Bus parking the bus next with Beans Parr, Steph, Kamar, Dion Lunsford, and Compton P. That's another team that just looks like
that team is good. When the first 2 names are C-Bus and Pork and Beans, that's going to be gross. Those 2 are leading your team. That's rough.
Yeah.
I have to say, I also was really I got to meet Beans this past weekend at Origins.
Oh, nice.
And that was a really, really great experience. We got to play a couple games together. We've chatted online, but it's something else to meet someone,
Yeah, absolutely. You get all that
in that same sort of area and talk. And I also got to see his badge, so I know his real last name now.
Oh.
So that's very exciting.
So is it Beans or Yoshi?
I can't.
Question. Ride the Beans, he'll be forever in our hearts.
Yeah.
And then finally we've got Tuna Slap, Marauder Moth, Thestral, Starmark, Treadwell, Slavic, and the Wolfhound. Some pretty solid players there as well. Another legend in the. I mean, these teams are full of legends actually when you look at them. But But yeah, the Debbie Dodgers filling out there. So those are the teams. I think we should probably. I don't really have any tea, Alex. We made the schoolboy error of not mentioning srdbtatler@gmail.com.
That's true.
Which we should have done during the show. Bucky, I've been had. You so have. So as a consequence, we didn't actually have any tea to give people.
No.
Because
so instead, I'm just going to.
If you can drop that in chat, just so everyone knows. That's where you put all the juicy gossip that all the silly things that happen, like when you're captain, for instance, if they maybe get a bit tipsy and make some innuendos, that would be where you send it. Preferably with screenshots. You'll stay anonymous. Don't worry, we won't out you. But yeah, that's where we want to see all the silly stuff, like when a couple seasons ago Slavic said, this team looks really easy, and then they proceeded to clown us. That's the sort of content we're looking for.
Yeah.
looking for there. So that'd be really good. And that's that's where this slide would come in. Usually would be all over the tee, but I don't really have any today.
No, I'll talk about some of the gossip at Origins.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if anybody acted.
Brent, that wouldn't be hard. Let's be honest.
I don't think anybody acted horribly. It was really cool to meet some people that I hadn't met before. I got to meet Guianos, which, spoiler, not a cat.
Amazing.
Which was super disappointing.
Yeah.
I did try petting him, though. He did not appreciate that.
That wasn't his style?
Wasn't his style. Apparently, it threw him off enough that he had a difficult time qualifying for the...
Put him off his game. Amazing.
Put him off his game. I said I got to meet Bork and Beans. That was really cool. We got to play a few games.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else did I meet Jeremy Folletta, Rip. I got to meet him.
Allegedly one of the nicest guys in the realms.
Super, super nice guy. Super, just great time sitting and chatting and hanging out with him, talking about all kinds of games and repping his Costco gear all during the con. So the entire time I look at him, I was just like, I want a hot dog and I want a slice of pizza.
Does he ever take that off? Because I think he wore that when he met, was it Steph? I think he went.
I think so. Yeah. I don't remember ever seeing a time with him not wearing his Costco hat and fleece.
That's amazing. I love that.
So those were the people that I hadn't met. Oh, and Nautical Stew. I met Nautical Stew.
Oh, cool.
Which was really cool too, because he's sort of new to Dodgeball, and so getting to meet him and chat with him. Is there anybody else? I mean, I also got to see con regulars. Ian is always great to see. I got to see Dion and Deanna.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they were there. I remember Dion was kind of taking pictures left, right, and center, documenting some of the tournaments.
The Lee brothers, who are like in Invasion and Filmmeister, or some of you might know him from his Commander card.
Yeah, I was going to
say. Let's see, who else was? Connor was there.
Nice. He's given me a good turning over recently in some Commander games, Connor.
BCS Buck. It is always great to see BCS Buck at Origins. Mark Stang is such just a wonderfully nice human being. Mm-hmm. And he's so proud of his city too. So it's always great to go to Columbus and just chat with him and talk with him. And he's such just a good host for Origins and a good host for the city. So who else did I'm sure I'm missing people left. I mean, Jay, obviously I had to play him in the finals. That sucked. Oh, Luck 16, Michael Brumfeld, I got to see.
Now, did Michael take part in any conversations, or did he kind of just walk off immediately? Because that's what everyone wants to know, right? Did he just mute the conversation and walk off?
Here's the thing. He is more chatty in person than in Dodgeball. With that said, still a pretty quiet guy.
Right. I was going to say, it wouldn't be harder to be less chatty in Dodgeball, though, would it? Than Luck 16.
But I would also, he made top 8 of the 5K for Star Realms. So he was qualified for the 5K for Hero Realms too. So he was busy playing lots of realms.
Excellent.
Tim McKenzie, Agent C13 was there as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how I forgot him. Dusto, of course, was there. Everyone knows Dusto was there after he got his Hero Realms.
Yep.
And Matt the Cutter was there. Though it was easy to forget Matt was there because he is apparently ready to abandon all realms and go just knee deep into Kapow, which they had that for demo. It's a really, really cool game.
That's like it's like a fighting card game. Is that right?
It's a sort of dueling dice game. You have dice that you roll, and then you also have a part of the mechanics is dice crafting. So you have like a big chunky die that you can use, and then you can then earn extra faces for it, so you have better sides. It was a really cool game,
Okay, yeah.
and Matt I think demoed it on Thursday, and then anytime someone wasn't at the table, he was grabbing people, playing against people. I was like, by the time this game actually hits retail, Matt is going to be an expert in this. But I got to demo it with Ian, and it was a really, really cool game. I'm really excited about it. So
Nice.
if you didn't kickstart it, definitely give it a look when it does come out, because it was super solid. And obviously, if you like Star Realms, it hits that same sort of itch of it's a dueling game. It's that sort of 1v1 fighting. Really. Very few rules, like easy to learn, but just depths and depths of strategy that's possible. So yeah, definitely check out Kapow. And yeah, but like I said, the Cutter was all into that all weekend. It seemed like every time I looked over at the Kapow demo table, Matt was there, and he had roped some other poor soul from the community into playing against him.
The first one's for free. Just come and try it. Honestly, it'll be fun.
Yeah, just check out this really cool game. It's really neat. You got to check it out. Yeah. And then I'm sure he was just rolling people left and right.
Matt did horrible in the 5K because he kept trying to roll his scouts. I mean, that certainly is possible.
Yeah.
No, it's always nice to hear about, especially now that we're out of COVID and like conventions are actually happening. Like, just hear about all the shenanigans that goes on and hear community members kind of getting together and playing. It's always good.
Oh yeah, it's a great time. I actually, I really missed seeing everybody when COVID wasn't around, and I'm hoping I'll see somebody at Gen Con, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be attending a wedding instead. So I'm going to get some FOMO. It'll be the weirdest thing. I will get FOMO by going to Gen Con instead of something else.
I mean, there's a question. Is there going to be more Star Realms going on at that wedding than there is at Gen Con?
Listen, my best opportunity to win Star Realms Legends is going to
right
be
now.
Right now, when everyone else will be at Politis and Sabella's wedding.
Sabella's wedding, amazing. So there we go. You heard it here first. Al gunning for the Gen Con title. We should probably talk about some dodgeball, shouldn't we?
I guess. How long have we been going? We're
know.
A half hour in, and we've barely mentioned teams.
Mentioned dodgeball.
I don't even know why people are still watching us.
I know, right? Well, let's get to the first match on Court 1. We had a catch at the Roxbury versus, I think that was Catch in a Box, right?
Yeah.
So the game began with Catch in a Box losing kind of 5 of the race balls to their opposition. Dusto and Yarbo are picking up the race balls, and then Sethestral, Brent, Carlos, Cranky, and Sarah T picking up the other races. So advantage straight away to the Roxbury. And I believe Brent was on his normal nonsense, plucking out a song there for his opponent, which he always does, which is kind of beginning to be quite a fun tradition. If you haven't checked out Brent's song at the start of every race, it's always a choice time. So the game began, and there were like 3 or 4 balls thrown when nothing really happened. Dusto dodged Cranky, Deanna dodged Sethestral, Binks kind of avoided by miss Brent's attentions until Brent finally got your friend and mine, Al Darth Binkley, straight on the kisser with a fairly close hit. Didn't go nuts, but then Yarboa immediately took out Sarah T in revenge, and then Brent apparently took offense at that, and then takes out Yarboa with just another ball later. So 2-1 to the Roxbury pretty quickly here, and Cranky dodges Yarbs' zombie ball, and D3 dodges Cranky's ball, and then Deanna B has had enough of all this nonsense, and just Sethestral and Cranky consecutive balls, bam bam, and they're gone. And then Rip catches Sarah T's ball, reviving Binks. So now it's suddenly kind of, it was 2-1, and now Catch in a Box have only got one person down, and the Roxbury are down by 4. And then there's another one of those passages of play where everyone's dodging and ducking and missing, and there's like 5 or 6 balls when nothing really happens until Juan, king of Huanglish, manages to catch Deanna B, reviving Sarah T. But then Dusto takes out Serafina and Sarah T. So that immediate kind of sit your ass back down on that bench, which we know and love so much. Sarah T barely up, and she's back down. Serafina can't take out Binks with her zombie ball, and then Brent catches and eliminates. Dusto catches and eliminates Osmosis Brent. So they're like, the Roxbury are really hanging on for dear life here. Juan Carlos catching Deanna B and again choosing to revive Nautical Stew before DG3 takes his head clean off with a clinical hit. And then it's just finally down to Nautical Stew to try and see what he can do. But all he can do is dodge wheels, fail to hit Deanna B, and then DG3 takes him down and the game. And that's a pretty good beating there, like seven smacked bottoms to 1. So Catch in a Box beginning with a victory. Captain Dusto got to be happy with that one.
Yeah.
Who's your player of the match, the MVP for this one?
Probably Captain Dusto.
Yeah.
He got the catch. He got a couple hits. He won his race ball.
Yeah.
And let me double check here. Yeah, 83% win percentage.
That's pretty
for
good.
The match. That's really good.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, he had some other good players on his team, but that I think with that win percentage, he's definitely got it.
Yeah, that seems very reasonable. So as we go on then to Court 2, this is where we see we've got Cebus, Ripper, and Darth Kronos as captains here. And you're going to have to forgive me because I can't always remember the names of the teams off the top of my head. That's Chip and Balls and Dodge Meister making dodges, as Cranky said during the draft. So fairly even split on the races. We've got Bagsman, Guianos, Zim, and Penguin Army pulling out bulls, whilst Patriarch, Bu Sato, and Imam collect bulls for their side. A bit more of an aggressive start here than Court 1. We've got Imam dodging Zim 108 before she takes him out, and then eliminates Lady Stacy as well. So like Elizabeth involved in the first 3 balls thrown. And
wait a minute, which court are you talking about?
Am I not talking about Court 2? I'm talking about Court 2, yeah.
With Imam?
Oh, did I mix up these?
Imam isn't on either of these teams.
Oh, well, there we go. I have got my order wrong.
All right.
Hang on. There we go. That's Court 2. Okay, so this match, this was brutal. We got 5-2 in races. Jay and Darklight are picking up balls, whilst Cebus, Bork and Yoshi, Kamas, Simply Steph, and Dion picked up the rest. Vori dodges Steph before Beans eliminates Royal Lance. That's Lance Eustache, I think. I don't know, was he at Origins as well?
He was not. I know he won Legends out at, was it PAX?
PAX, I think, yeah.
Yes. But he wasn't at Origins.
No. So he unfortunately went down quite quickly before Dion took out Darth Kronos, eliminating the opponent captain. Taking the head off, always a good strategy to sever the head. Then Jonan dodges Cebus before Legend L takes out Roland Pot and Dion Lunsford in bam quick succession. Compton takes out Jonan. JL can't take out Simply Steph, but Dion does take out Darklighter, whose zombie ball cannot claim the life of Cebus Ripper. And it's 6 bodies down really quickly in this game. There's only a think a total of 29 actionable balls, including the race balls in this game, Al. So then Bork eliminates Vorazori. He can't quite tag Jelly the first time or the second time, but he gets his man on the third attempt. JL eliminated by Bork and Beans before his zombie ball takes out Compton P, not before Compton P's claimed the life of Dennis T. D-Zilla. Now, Seabus catches D-Zilla's ball, reviving Rollin Par, and JL eliminates Simply Steph, and the match is done. A really savage beating on behalf of Seabus and his thugs to take that round one game. There's not a lot more to say. It was one of those ugly games where there is literally no mercy to be had. Who's the MVP here, Al? Now that we've got the right
I was
game.
going to give it to Imam, but she's not on either of these teams. So instead, we'll give it to one of the people that actually played in this match.
That seems fair.
And we'll give it to Bork and Beans.
Yeah.
We had he won his race. He got 3 hits, which was, I mean, that's nearly half the other team right there.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, he also won like 83% of his games. Well, I mean that's a pretty good performance any way you slice it.
Yeah. That's the trouble. If Bork wins his race, like, it's a bad time.
Oh yeah.
As can be said for any of the actual good players. You're best off hoping that they lose their race, and then you can kind of sideline them for a little bit. It's still.
I'll be honest. I lost my race, and then in the hopes that people would just leave me alone, like the rest of my team would take care of it, so I could just be at Origins and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. I lost my second round race and got immediately thrown out, so that shows you how scary I am.
Oh, there you go.
No fear there. So moving on to court 3, we've got Debbie's Dodgers against Dodger Trebek. And let me make sure I've got the right one, because they're clearly
I was going to say,
yeah,
spoiler, Imam's not in this group either.
She's not in this one either. This is Captain PC Load Letter. He's taking on Captain Tuna Slap. So this one, fairly even split of the race balls here. We've got Drew the Rat, Chasmo, Bahamut, and Cisco taking their race balls, whilst Treadwell, Starmark, who actually I did catch a little bit of Starmark's sass in that first round match. I think he's quietly going to be very funny, Al. He might be someone whose posts people want to enjoy. He first began like giving Grandma a bit of smack talk, and she tried to deflect it, and then he started complimenting her, and he just charmed his way through it. It was really funny to watch. Thestral picking up that last race ball. So Captain Ass Clown tries to get the ball rolling. He does dodge Starmark's throw, but it's then Bahamut who gets on the board by asking Mr. Clever Missy, the Wolfhound, to take an early bath. Thestral catches and eliminates Cisco Alvarez. And then while Starmark is busy dodging Chasmo, Thestral also takes out Acox 89. But Super Grandma does catch Starmark and revive Cisco Alvarez there. So again, immediately always good to get that morale-crushing early catch in to bring back that first eliminated player. Meanwhile, Drew the Rat's eliminating Treadwell, and then eliminates Tuna Slap, which is a really good scalp there, Al, to be taking so early in proceedings. And I think you called it earlier when you said he might surprise some people, or maybe he surprised Tuna with that clinical 31-0 hit. Now PC dodges Thestral. Thestral dodges PC. They're spending time having a little chat in the corner, but Chasmo's not taking any prisoners as he knocks Slavic straight into the next round with quite a significant hit. Mo doesn't succumb to the attentions of Chasmo. Treadwell can't take out Super Grandma, but Starmark does take Cisco Alvarez back to the bench and make sure he doesn't get back up. Chasmo eliminates Marauder Mo via a catch. And then Starmark and Drew the Rat and Chasmo are all kind of involved in a bit of a triangle. No one can get each other out. And it's another period of play where there's like 4 or 5 balls going, nothing really happening. Drew the Rat dodging Starmark dodging PC. But then Super Grandma strikes and catches Starmark for the second time in the same game. Gotta suggest that either she's got his number or he wants hers. And then Ass Clown catches and eliminates Thestral as Thestral is busy eliminating Bahamut 619, and that's the game. It's all over, and PC and his boys and girls there coming out victorious against Debbie's Dodgers. Not a good day at the office for Tuna Slap and Kim. Who's your MVP here, Al?
This one's tough because there were
like 4 performances, wasn't there?
I was going to say there were at least 4 legitimate sort of MVP performances for Dodger Trebek. I mean, it was a real team effort.
Yeah.
I mean, the captain put in some work. Chasmo, his first round pick, put in some work. Then also you saw some really great contributions from Super Grandma and Drew the Rat.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go with our number 1 fan, Super Grandma.
Okay, yeah.
And the only reason I give her the edge is she got 2 catches, which getting 1 catch in a match is pretty tough. Getting 2, those are just huge swings for your team.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give it to Super Grandma.
Well, congratulations to her. That sounds like a good deal all round. And moving on to Court 4, we've got the wild and crazy throws against the motivational catches there, captained by your favourite kitty man. Well, maybe not, but certainly mine, Guianos. And, well, I guess he's not really a kitty man, is he? Because he's not actually a kitty. So maybe there's false advertising going on there.
Maybe.
And then MarkBot 3000 with motivational catches. So,
guess what? Imam is on this team.
Imam is involved in this game, people. So we will see her. So as we've previously discussed in a bit of a spoiler, Ian, Doug, and Elizabeth got the balls for their side, whilst Dan, Zim, Guianos, and Baggio got the balls for there. So fairly even split on the beginnings, and then Imam goes on a rampage in the first 3 balls. Takes out Zim and Lady Stacy before Penguin Army eliminates Clever Missy, and then Baggio, keen to get in on the action, dodges Ian, and then eliminates Vriska with the same ball. So blood on both sides, fairly even split to the killing to start with, but it's Sato who gets a catch on Baggio reviving Clever Missy to start maybe swinging the game back in their favour. Clever and Guianos both dodge before Elizabeth, Imam 69, can't take out the Penguin Army on her first go, but she jolly well does on her second and sends the Penguin and all his little minions back to the bench. Patriarch catches and eliminates your boy Tim before Baggio gets again in on that action, taking out Patriarch 215, and then proceeds to dodge Clever Missy and Agent Sato, but can't take Agent Sato out on the rewind. Ninja Nin dodging Patriarch, who's obviously at that point finally losing his race, finally drawn into the game because there's no one else to throw at. Sato dodges the ball from Baggio. Ninja misses Elizabeth twice, can't take her down. Guianos and MarkBot, I think, maybe trying to end the game by having this kind of Titanic captain battle, maybe trying to see if they can get a morale winning result there, and it's Simon who takes out Mark with a 50-0 hit. That's substantial. It would have been a catch, so either way, it's good. But as good as that is, Al, even that's not enough to overshadow your ability to spank Ninja Nin all the way back to his legend card with a 123-point catch.
What happened was I was finally back from Origin, so I could concentrate on a game.
That is quite the beating. That's the sort of beating that gets you emotional damage.
Yeah, I have to say I was very, very lucky in that game. But yeah, it was It was pretty rough. They were scared of throwing at me the entire sort of weekend, and then I get back and the one throw at me and I catch it, and I was just like, all right, somebody else throw at me now. Let's do this.
I'm back, baby.
Flex for a moment.
Well, that inspired Agent Sato to then go and take out Baggio. And then it's just a case of Guianos versus the world as he dodges Clever Missy twice, Agent Sato once, he dodges Imam, but Al finally deciding that he wants to throw and taking Guianos down with the final throw of the match. So
I literally had 2 games. Well, my race I lost, and then I had 2 games. It was a catch and a hit. That was it. I was super minimalist this week.
Yeah. I mean, Origin's probably having something to do with that. So, motivational catches. There we go, getting off the mark with a win. Captain Markbot obviously thrilled with that result.
Yeah.
Now, Al, how many awards are you going to give yourself here? Just the MVP?
Listen, I lost the big award at Origin, so I deserve something.
Damn it! I deserve something.
I will also
handsome
say,
Dutchman
I forgot
robbed
to
me.
mention, Doug and his wife, Patriarch, and the Pink Jewels were both at Origins. They're both super, super great people. They volunteered at Origins. It was awesome seeing them.
Yeah.
And if anybody, like half the people in this match were at Origins, because it was me, Agent Seto, Patriarch, and then Tim on the other team, and Guianos. At one point, it was Patriarch caught Tim. I think he caught him. And they were sitting right next to each other at Origins. And so I got to snap a picture of the moment.
Amazing.
Where Tim was caught. It is beautiful. If anybody wants to see that picture of Tim's soul being crushed, let me know. I will try to make it.
The moment where Tim's soul left his body.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And Rollenpaw. I forgot Rollenpaw was there too.
Right.
So many people.
Many people.
All right.
So, if you're not in fact giving it to yourself, Al.
No, you know how much I hate to give myself awards.
Where's the MVP going for this game?
It's Imam. She won 80% of her games. She got 3 hits. Like, she put in the hard work. I just sort of swooped in at the end to finish it out. She definitely deserves MVP this week.
Yeah, that seems very fair. Should be a team logo next season. There you go. What? Tim's soul being departed from his body. I'm down for that. Court 5. It's any questions? It's Dodgy as Pumpkins versus I Gotta Have More Cowball, baby. This game that I was involved in, it started off quite well, I thought. So the Cowballs get 4 of the race balls. Fire Driller, myself, CJK Flyer, and M Colo picking up those, whilst the husband-wife team of Cyberduck and Bad Wolf, along with Carrie Lapidus, MTG in real life, pick up the race balls for their side. And Jester, classic German, Fire Driller goes straight for the throat, tries to take out Captain Jester, misses, gets caught, gets eliminated to the bench immediately. I spend my time laughing at him profusely because, Robert and I have a very good relationship where we just are merciless. And unfortunately, I threw at the Yeti and immediately got caught as well. So whilst Fire Driller was being revived by Starrick, who caught MTG, I was busy getting eliminated by the Yeti. Thankfully, Tatiana caught Bad Wolf and immediately revived me to save my blushes. But that didn't stop the haranguing from Germania coming my way. Starrick then took out Bad Wolf with a good solid hit. A couple of misses here and there. And then M Colo took out Jester. I caught Jester. So that was a double tap because at that point we didn't have anyone on the bench. So poor Captain Pumpkin got double tapped in the worst way before CJK caught MTG, eliminating her. And at that point, it's, Al, it's looking pretty good, right? They're down to 2. We've got 5. Sorry, we've got 7. It's looking real good for us. And then we decided that we were going to throw at Corey. So I felt like it was my responsibility to throw at Corey. First pick against first pick.
Yeah.
That
How'd
wasn't
that turn out?
that wasn't a good choice. He caught me and eliminated me, and then proceeded to wreck everyone. So he caught me and eliminated me. He then went on to eliminate M Colo. Jace ascended, caught Sturrock, eliminating him, and then dodged the return throw before eliminating Fire Driller. CJK took out Cyberduck. Jace ascended, caught Fire Driller, reviving Bad Wolf, and then Corey Bear went on to try and take out CJK Flyer, and then, and this is where she's gonna hate me for this, but this is where you really see what a first round pick player looks like. Corey Bear attempted, I think, 5 times to knock out Tatiana, and she dodged basically everything she threw at him. He threw at her, taking out Bad Wolf on the side, whilst that was going on, but taking balls off Corey Bear, not just not being hit by him, but also beating him and taking away his balls. Before Jace ascended, dodged Tats, but finally Tatiana's caught by Corey Bear on her throw, and also Jace catches Tatiana right at the end. So it was one of those like titanic rearguard actions where it's 3 against 1, and that player is just performing out of their skin, but eventually either someone gets lucky, you get unlucky, or simply they play a better game. And 3 against 1, the numbers count up, and Tats did a fantastic rearguard action, but it wasn't enough, and the Pumpkins were victorious. Who's your MVP, Al?
This is tough. I mean, Tats did a great job, but she was on the losing team.
Unfortunately so.
Corey Bear went on a tear, and I think if he were on any other teams this week, he probably would have gotten MVP.
Yeah.
However, Jace ascended, played
out of his skin, like
just I did not see this coming. 3 catches for the match.
Yeah.
3. I mean, some people don't get 3 catches all season. He got you got 3 in a match. That is ridiculous. Plus, I think didn't he also get a hit in there too?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think he hit Fire Driller maybe.
Yeah, so four like elimination type results. That was ridiculous. That's got to be MVP.
100%. Yeah. And it's we have kind of in the background. Adam's got stats set up, and we have some gradings which are kind of pretty hard and fast kind of indications of how well a player's done in any given game. And there was only one S-class performance, I think, this round, and that does bring us, in fact, onto the performance of the round. I think it's Jace, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Jace.
I don't think there was anyone else who actually came close to.
No,
because it's not just about hits and catches; it's about like possession changes too, right? They all factor in. So you can get 3 catches, but actually still get 3 hits, but still get kind of a low result if you just give the ball away constantly.
Right.
But he didn't.
But 3 catches, 2 dodges, didn't get hit. 83% of his defensive games he won. He was just a defensive force.
Yeah. And that says it all. I was quite surprised by how handily he dismantled everyone who threw at him this round.
Right.
He did a great job. Unfortunately, it was against my team, so I'm not quite as pleased about that. But
not as excited, huh?
not as excited, no. But great job, Jace. Well played. And the Moneyball Award, Al. Now, just to remind people, the Moneyball Award goes to the player who represents the highest value to their team over the course of the round. Most other awards tend to have to come from a winning team if they're MVPs, but the Moneyball absolutely does not, Al. Where does this one sit, though?
This one I am giving to Drew the Rat. He was a 5th-round pick for PC Load Letter.
Yeah.
He managed 2 hits, and this is what's ridiculous, a 100% win rating. He did not lose a game this round.
Flawless.
I mean, there could have been an argument. There was definitely an argument for him to be MVP of his match, too.
Yeah.
Like I said, he got edged out by Super Grandma and her pair of catches, but definitely Moneyball. A 5th-round pick pulling in those kind of numbers. Yeah, excellent job.
Yeah, and definitely maybe someone to be watching this season, as we said. Spilled tears at the end of last season, and clearly spilling bodies at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the standings as we go into round 2. So it's a fairly straightforward table as we look at it. We've got Catch in a Box, and then Dodge at Trebek, motivational catchers, Dodge Meisters making dodges, and Dodgy S Pumpkins all on a win, and separated only by the tiebreakers. So that kind of at this stage, that just represents how many more of your opposition you got out than they got out of yours.
Right.
And that's going to change as the season goes on. Then we've got more Cowballs, Chippendales, Wild and Crazy Throws, Derby Dodgers, and the strongest team in the whole league, a Catch in the Roxbury at the bottom, holding everyone else up. So fairly straightforward, as I said, at this stage. That's going to change as we move through. Be interesting to see how this morphs as the season goes on, Al, because we've got definitely got some strong teams out there. But I don't know about yours, but I'm having an absolute blast in our chat.
Great. Yeah, I love my team. They're great. I mean, I got to meet quite a few of them at Origins. I think maybe one year we might have to do like a live dodgeball thing at Origins or Gen Con.
That would be really cool.
There were so many
dodgeballers
at Origins. I mean, you look at the top 8 and the people that won the like big White Wizard game event, that they're all dodgeballers.
Yeah.
So it's we should talk to Debbie and Rob sometime about doing a live dodgeball thing.
I'm sure that could be worked out.
I will say, the thing you forget playing digital so much is how much you have to shuffle.
That's true. Shuffling.
And the thing is, you can't just. So the final round this year in the top 8, it was, instead of commanders, it was just all 3 base sets. Which,
interesting. Okay.
Which it sounds really sort of cool. You know, I like that they change format so people can't just like
learn one thing.
Good at one thing, and that's just it's.
But that's a lot of cards from 3 base sets.
It's a lot of cards. So like in between rounds, like me and Jay at the end there, we're like taking turns, just stacks of cards, shuffling and trading and shuffling and trading. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, kids. So yeah, I feel like throwing formats are going to be very limited.
I think chosen more by what you've got to hand rather than spending 20 minutes going through the pile, right?
I think we talked about this one time. If you were to do a live dodgeball event, what you would do
bring
is
your own deck, maybe?
Bring your own deck.
Yeah.
Like pick your throwing format ahead of time, and that's the one you got to stick with. And then whenever you throw at someone, they play with your event, your deck.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make a lot of
but
sense.
Yeah, it's something I would definitely like to see in the future. I mean, I know I've been talking a lot about Origins, but it was a really, really great event. I hope to see people next year at it. Rob and Debbie put on a really nice community meetup one night, which was like really amazing.
Hotel room, was it? Or
it was that they had a nice suite at one of the hotels, and you know, it was Star Realms people, was also Hero Realms people. Birdlaw, I forgot Birdlaw was there. Birdlaw was there, and also Ural on Discord, who does a lot of the app stuff for Wise Wizard. He was there. Got to meet him. Also, they had a like really nice like production copy of the foil set. which
I did see pictures.
I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical because it doesn't really look super great in pictures or on video,
Yeah,
but in person,
really good.
so beautiful.
Oh,
Such a nice deluxe set. Uh, any sort of like nervousness I had about it, gone. Absolutely beautiful. And it keep in mind, we realized it didn't even have the I thought it would just be like the base set and maybe gambits, but we saw all sorts of cards in there.
oh, so it's going to be probably like everything.
Yeah. So it was not everything, but I saw the base set. I saw some bases and battleships. I saw some gambits. I also saw some of the promo cards that came with the big box.
Oh, okay.
So that was the ones that create like token that need like token cards.
Yeah, they
I
tend
saw
to
some of
be they're
those
some
in
of the
there.
blob cards, aren't they? I think they make
Yeah,
like a podling hatch that hatches into a gribbly and all sorts.
right. So that was, yeah, the ultimate storage box promos. That was they, yeah, so pretty. There's just pictures do not do it justice. It is, you have to like see it and be there. It was great. The other thing that I was not expecting and was I got to play a couple games of the new
Oh,
Rise of
right,
Empire, the
Rise of
new Legacy
Empire.
set. Rob had a sort of prototype set up with the first two chapters of it, and me and Ian got to play the first two chapters together. And I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about this Legacy set. I'm not a big. I like some Legacy games. I
Right.
was a little nervous about this, especially having to put stickers on cards and stuff. They have an infinite replay version, which is really great.
Oh, cool.
Um, and the game is so smooth and
Really?
just so neat. And the decisions you have to make, like you have like we can a lot of us we play enough Star Realms, we can sort of go on autopilot and just
Yeah.
play Star Realms. Like we can play turns like while we're waiting in line or
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like super quick. This game, like me and Ian were taking such a long time deciding how to buy things, where like what to buy.
Because you get
It
some
was, and it's
effects
not
that.
just because it's new cards, but you have decisions to make when you buy a card.
Yeah.
And because yeah, cards have acquire abilities. So when you
Yeah.
buy a card of a certain faction, it creates an ability for you for that turn.
Got you.
So maybe you don't buy the ship you really want because another ship lets you scrap. So maybe you buy that scrap card.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And the other thing is, when you buy a card, you can then decide if you want to permanently bring it to your faction, which then makes you go a
Right. Okay.
little,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh.
and it's really easy to go just like in that first game, fast aggro and beat the other person. But if you don't buy stuff to switch it over to your side, you're really going to struggle in those subsequent chapters because you won't have ships in the market deck that share your faction.
Got you. Yeah.
It creates so many really neat and interesting decisions.
Because
I was
you're playing the game for this game, but then also kind of playing it to set up the following chapters too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really good. I am so excited for that one. That was one I backed it, because it's Star Realms and I'll support it and stuff. Like I said, I was a little nervous playing it. Absolutely love it. So excited about it. It is just absolutely. I cannot speak highly enough. Me and Ian had such a great time. Like I have to say, it was definitely one of my highlights of the convention. I mean, I know I made the finals against Jay, and
Yeah. Yeah.
if I didn't say it before, congratulations to Jay for his.
100%. Absolutely. Congratulations
It
to
was
Jelly.
awesome. He
Yeah.
played a great game, great tournament. And of course, that was a highlight for me, was playing in the finals. But honestly, like getting to try that game also was just another highlight. Getting to play with Ian and us sitting there and sort of talking it out and really just sort of looking at this game was just absolutely amazing.
And do we know when they're planning on getting that one out?
I believe the Kickstarter they said is going to be launching in early July.
Okay, cool. So for anyone who hasn't backed any Star Realms Kickstarters before, quite often, and I can't say that this is definitely going to happen, Al, but I presume it will because they generally do. They usually do some like add-ons from previous things, so that when they kickstart something, usually whether it's Hero Realms or Star Realms, they usually like side saddle on some previous things that you can add on that you can't get anywhere else. So if you've missed out on some stuff before, that's a
Yeah.
really great way. Even if you're just going on for the basic package, you can still like even if you're backing at the lowest level, you can usually like tag on a whole load of stuff that you could previously have gotten but isn't in the stores.
Right. Anything that was a Kickstarter exclusive before will be available again through the backing something else of theirs.
So anyone who's recently perhaps bought, and I got the command decks recently.
Oh,
So if you're coming to Covacon, Super Grandma and Yarboa, prepare to play some commanders. But I mean, you obviously couldn't get Yoakum because he was a Kickstarter special and he was broken as hell. So
yeah.
that would be an opportunity if you wanted to be dirty and pick up Jockstrap to add to your commander decks. Then that would be the way to do that.
Right.
Fun little name for Yoakum there. I'm sure he'll appreciate that very much. So I guess that's what we've got time for then. Al. I don't think there's anything more, is there?
For being grossly unprepared, we seem to
Have talked a lot.
extend this show to a full hour, so that's good.
Which is good, yeah.
I expect next week we'll be hearing all sorts of fun stories from Covacon.
Yeah, I should have some. There'll be a couple of community members coming up for sure, and that's always good. I will sort out whatever mic issue I'm having. Apparently, I'm quiet, and I will be paying much more attention to all the shenanigans that you guys are getting up to in your threads. So for sure, I'll have some smack talk from those threads to share. But I do want to make sure that you guys also do send in any of that juicy intra-team gossip you've got going on to srdbtattler@gmail.com because that's always a lot of fun to read. You'll be anonymous, don't you worry. We won't spill your source. Our sources are always private and respected. But yeah, go out there. Have I think round 2 is probably for some teams like heavily into the swing of things. I know I've got another ball from Cebus rocketing at my head, which I can't get to tonight, but I will doubtless enjoy its touch on my face tomorrow. So yeah, good luck in round 2, peeps. Have a great time, and we'll see you back here to recap round 2 when it is over. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. Good night.
Night.